Our allied town is being attacked!
What is it now? Greetings. What, mortal? What is it now? Agreed.
We need more gold!
I must hunt soon. What is it now? That was my plan. What, mortal? Very well. That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. Die. You thought of
Allied
that?
town is being attacked!
Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. I hunger. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan.
Our hero has...
The night beckons. Greetings. Very well. What is
Our
it?
allied hero has been slain!
Thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. Die. Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that?
Our allied hero has been slain! Our allied town is being attacked!
Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought
Our allied town is being attacked!
Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. Agreed.
Our hero has been slain.
The night beckons. Very well. Greetings. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? What is it now? Agreed. Death rages. That was my plan. You thought of that? Hunt soon. Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. That was my plan.
Take your time. Look around.
What is it now? You thought of that? Agreed.
Our
That
allied
was my
hero has
plan.
been slain.
Agreed. You thought of that? Greetings. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan.
Our allied town
plan.
is being attacked!
You thought of that? That was my plan. You thought of that? That was my plan. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. Very well. That was my plan.
We're under attack!
Agreed. I must hunt soon. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. That was my plan.
Slain.
Agreed.
Our allied town is being attacked!
You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. That was my plan. Very well. I hunger. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed.
Our allied town is being attacked!
What is it now? That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that?
Our allied town
Agreed.
is being attacked!
Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? That was my plan.
Slain. Our allied town is being attacked! Our allied town is being attacked! town is being attacked! Our allied's hero has been slain! Our allied town is being attacked!
Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of
We're
that.
under attack!
Very well.
Our allied
That
town
was
is
my
being
plan.
attacked!
Agreed. You thought of that. That was my plan. I must hunt soon. Very well. You thought of that. Very well. You thought of that. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. That was my plan. What is it now? Agreed. Very well.
Our allied town is being attacked! Our allied town is being attacked!
Agreed. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? What? What is it now? That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed.
We're under attack!
That was my plan. Agreed.
Our allied town is being attacked!
What? That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? Very well. What is it now? You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. Greetings. You
We're
thought
under
of that?
attack!
What? Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan.
Our allied town is being attacked!
That was my plan. You thought of that?
Our allied town is being attacked! Our hero has been slain! Our allied town is being attacked!
The night beckons. I must hunt soon.
Our
That
allied
was my
town is
plan.
being attacked!
What is it now? Very well. Greetings. I must hunt soon. You thought of that? Agreed. Greetings.
Our allied town is being
That
attacked!
was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. You thought of that? Very well.
Our allied town is being attacked!
Wonderful. I must hunt soon. That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. That was my plan.
Our allied hero has been slain!
Agreed.
Our allied town is being attacked!
That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. What mortal? That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? I hunger. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed.
We're under attack! Our allied town is being attacked!
Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? Agreed.
Our allied town
That
is being
was my
attacked!
plan. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. Greetings. Thought of that? That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. That was my plan. Must hunt soon. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? That was my plan. Greetings. Very well.
We're under attack!
My plan. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that. Agreed. Fate beckons.
Our allied town is being attacked!
Plan. Agreed. You thought of that?
Our allied town is being attacked!
You thought of that? Very well. I must hunt soon. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. Agreed. Death rages. That was my plan. Die. You thought of that?
Our allied town is being attacked!
That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. I hunger.
Our allies are slain! Our allies are
Silence. What, mortal? Greetings. Agreed. What is it now? That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? What, mortal? Very well. Must hunt soon. You thought of that? Agreed. What is it now? You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. Greetings. That was my plan. I must hunt soon. Agreed. What is it now? Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. Agreed. Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. What, mortal? Agreed. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. Greetings. Very well.